Can you please give us a summary of your recent report and its implications for the delivery of the living sector assets over the next few years?
Yeah, we published a series of statistics recently which showed that there was a very, very steep decline in planning applications across the living sector asset types, mostly caused by economic conditions and items around things like the Building Safety Act. And then we projected that forward into what it meant for supply, and it was really quite stark in that there was a ski slope that sort of dropped very steeply up to about the end of 2027, when really the supply was very negligible, which is very worrying. Mm-hmm. So what we're using that data for is really to try and encourage clients who've any kind of liquidity to get on with things, because they're going to be bringing stuff out the ground when there isn't such a buoyant market and there isn't such a high supply. So pricing wise, that's probably going to be good for them. And anybody that's got open and operating stock that's stabilising in that sort of time frame, they should really be thinking about whether or not they want to refinance it or sell it, because there's going to be an undersupply in the market of that typology of product. So we're trying to take the most positive outlook that we can. Also trying to encourage authorities to maybe take a look at data like that and think, actually, we need to change tack. Mm-hmm. You know, so. Well,
that actually leads perfectly to my next question, which is, what would you like to see government and the living sector do to address this situation?
Well, government really needs to wake up to the fact that if it's going to get close to delivering any number of housing, never mind 1.5 million, mm-hmm. that it needs to really sweep aside some of the legislative landscape and allow projects to get further forward and more quickly. I mean, 58 weeks to get approval for Gateway 2 in a project is essentially putting a burden on developers that they can't afford. Mm-hmm. And investors, just won't buy a product now until it's really got Gateway 2 approval. So it's really very heavy on the weight of development capital. So that needs to happen. I mean, there are a lot of unviable projects that bodies like Homes England can definitely step into and help, and that would help in the regeneration and affordable cycles. So yeah, no, I think that's our main message is really, I don't like to say it quite so bluntly, but government, can you get out the way?
Yeah. Yeah, okay, well, thank you so much for these insights. Very interesting. My final question is, what are your impressions of the Urban Living Festival this year?
I have always loved the Urban Living Festival. I just like the fact that it's not quite a mainstream conference. Mm-hmm. I quite like the fact that it's got an international attendance, which is really great, because you meet people from different countries who've got different ideas and different thoughts. I like the way that Piers and George and the team put it together, just because it's a sort of like-minded individuals type conference. It's not so much about, too much about data mm-hmm. and facts and such like, which I think is good. I like the fact that it's in somewhere that's a little bit interesting, and, a sunny day in London, who doesn't like that?
Right, exactly. All right, well, thank you.